What we're going to want to do now is create a matrix of the data. So let's call that matrix tests, and I'm going to do this through the column bind function, cbind, group, and scores. That'll bind the scores that we had before with the groups that we have now, and you'll see that we now have group 1 and group 2 test scores. So this is a better format than 4 or 2 or however many separate vectors that we have. We just have one place for all of our data. Now we're going to want to take that matrix that we just created and we're going to want to turn it into a data frame so that we'll have 21 observations for 2 variables. So 21 participants, for instance, with that belong to a group and have scores. So what you do here is just write tests equals data.frame tests, and that'll create a new data frame. So check it out again, type in tests, and you'll see now that we have a data frame, 21 observations on 2 variables. So we have group 1, group 2, and we have the test scores for those variables. Now what I'd like to do is learn how to replace the values. So instead of having groups 1 and 2, let's change it to have groups 1 and 0. So we're going to change all of those 2's to 0. So in group, we're going to want to equal replace. You're going to keep the group variable, but for everything that's exactly equal to 2, we want to put in 0. So group equal replace, you're going to want to use the group vector that we already have, but for each group equal to 2, exactly equal, that's the double equal sign, you're going to want to put in 0. So let's inspect what we have, type in group and hit enter, and you'll see our new vector, all 1's and 0's. Let's check it out in the data frame by hitting tests and enter, and you'll see that actually nothing has changed. The data frame is exactly as it was before because what we did was change the vector group. We didn't change the variable group within our data frame tests. So let's replace the variable group within our data frame's tests the same way we did before. So as opposed to group equals and the replace function, we're going to have to write tests, $, and group. And then we're going to equal the replace function, and we're going to want to replace it with the group vector, where group, when it's exactly equal to 2, we want to change that 2 into a 0, hit enter, and then let's check out the data frame again by hitting tests and then enter to make sure it looks right. We should have a bunch of 1's and 0's, and now you'll see that we've replaced those 2's with 0's.